Right, we're live, and that was just a good funny moment then from you, Helen, backstage. Can we swear? I'm like, I'm
I swear,
disappointed
just
if
in
you
case.
didn't.
Just in case. I
Yeah,
just have to obviously I used to be a teacher, so I'd have to like go into PG teacher mode. And like you just do
How's,
it, like, but then it's mad how as soon as you're out of that situation, you just naturally like just swear.
well, I'm gonna say not to say that I think you swear a lot, but I have heard you utter the odd profanity. So how was that with
Yeah.
teaching? How did you manage to like
Probably
keep a
just had
check in
a
it?
probably just had an office we used to go into and just like let it all out or something like that. Yeah, I feel like maybe every time you see me, it's in a stressful situation that involves fitness and pain. So maybe it's worse, but yeah.
Yeah, I did. I got a good video of the games actually rolling about after the workout. Did Harry show it you? Because I
Yeah,
sent it
he
in
sent
from
it.
the
He
stand.
showed me, and I was just like that. Like, you know what? I just couldn't understand. I was like, people cross these finish lines, and they just stand there, and I'm just like that. Like, is that a joke? Like, oh, did I just disappear?
You froze, but there
Oh,
you
I'm
are.
back.
You're back.
I'm back.
You're back.
Do I need to? I know this is weird, but like, do I need to turn notifications off on my phone? Do they pop up or not?
They'll pop. I won't see them, but you
Oh,
might
fine.
like
Yeah,
if
fine.
someone calls you, it'll just
Oh
go
my god,
blank
I don't
until
know.
you kind of cancel it off.
I literally don't know what's going on. My phone is just spazzing out. I told you I'm a bit of a technophobe.
You did. You
Yeah.
caveated it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what do you think of them? Like when we're on about that, when people cross the finish line. Because I've done a couple of workouts at Project this week, and I fell to the floor after. And
Yeah.
because you're just giving everything. If you're at the games and you're not rolling about on the floor after, surely you haven't done it right.
Well, I don't know because like people are just different, right? It's in like if you even just in our team, if you like most of the time you look at OJ and he's not like that. Like as in he's
Mm.
just like quite composed when he finishes. But yeah, I just didn't get it. I was just like, especially let's just say like worm ones, which like don't get me wrong, I find the worm quite painful. But we'd get over, and I would just be like, I'd literally just be lying on my back for ages. I wouldn't know what else was going on. Like I wouldn't know who has to come over the finish line, and then I'd like sit up and I'd be like, these other teams are just like sat chatting, like nothing's happened. And I just didn't get it. I was like, because then I would say Harry's kind of like similar to me. It was normally me and Kerry. Me and Kerry were just lying on the floor, like, what's just happened to us? Like, we've just been abused. OJ would just be like chilling. Harry would be like, I feel like Harry forces himself to be composed, and he just like gets up and he's like, I'm fine. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get it because then you'll watch clips of like the Indies come over, and they will be on the floor. And I think
Yeah.
people probably are, but like your perception of it when you're like sat there, like I messed up. I think there's a
Yeah.
workout and they're like, you need to get off the floor. And I was just like that. Yeah, like, I can't. I was like,
Not
I was just
yet.
like, and it was something really stupid, as in, I was like, my arms hurt so much that I can't move. And it's like, it's your arms. Like, you can obviously walk off the floor, but I was just like, my arms are in so much pain that I can't like compose myself to walk around. So, yeah, I don't know. It's an odd one.
You did something else funny on that as well when you were like kind of just doing this with your hand until someone put a bottle of water in it. So you must have been saying something, but I could only see you doing the hand movement, and I was like, "That's a flex." That I could just see you at Blueprint, just stood there like waving your hand until someone puts it. Must be
We
the
must have so
Helen
many
symbol.
like over the years. There'll be so many like funny clips at the end of workouts where like someone's in pain and they're like, "Get my shoes off, get my knee sleeves off," and it'll just be like the end of like a qualifier or something, and someone's just being like, "Oh, like help me do this." I've got like a like compilation of like Harry like picking me up off the floor basically like after a workout, and he'll be like scraping me off the floor, and I'm just like this, like oh, but yeah, it's quite funny. But I do
So,
sometimes think I'm like, are other teams like this or not? But
I
yeah,
think sometimes it is like you said when Harry just keeps himself composed to walk off. It's a flex, isn't it? If everyone's rolling about on the floor and you just walk off like get to athlete
yeah,
corral or backstage and then just jump
and
on the
then just
floor
die.
and
Yeah, yeah,
die.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
We've it's something we spoke about in team training before. Like he's quite big on it about like composure, and he's like in workouts. He's like, you need to try and like hold your composure, as in like it doesn't matter how much you're hurting. Like you need to try and like be stood up or try not to show it and like not show it on your face. And I do get part of it because he's like, even within your team, like let's say I was like very vocal or like very obviously in a lot of pain, it almost like negatively and reinforces the rest of the team being
Mm.
like she's really suffering or this is really hard. Whereas he was like, if you're kind of like fine, he's like, it's quite a positive like atmosphere. which I do agree with, apart from the fact sometimes I'm like, for me, it goes the other way. If I look at all my teammates and I'm like, and they're just fine, and in my head, I'm like that, I'm dying. Like, I'm like, what am I going to do to get out of this situation? Like, but yeah, so it is funny.
See, I get that in the workout because you don't want to like worry, but I think at the end of the workout, it don't matter. Roll about as much as you want.
You've got to let it all out, haven't you? Yeah, you've got to get it out.
So from a training point of view, how things going now? So like, in fact, I guess I'll ask that in a different way. So like, did you have a bit of a? I know you're going to have a bit of a mini sort of rest after the games, I guess, but was there any sort of lull for you in terms of immediate motivation? You know, the big high of the CrossFit Games, which is the pinnacle of the sport for you. Like, is there a lull after that with training, or are you excited to get straight back into it?
I guess a bit of a weird one. Like, I wouldn't have had as much time off as like people maybe think. As in, I think literally on the Tuesday we like went and trained, but it was like we're just going to do fun stuff, like whatever you want to do, and like we're with friends and we're still in America and we like went over and trained. So I think there was no period where it's like you're literally going to do nothing, because I was in a bit of a weird situation where a couple of weeks later we went and did Southwest Regional. So I had like I was like, I can't do nothing, so I'll go to this competition and it'll just kill me. But it's not like it's not necessarily a motivation to train, but it's like a massive adrenaline dump, I guess, of like, you're obviously just tired. Like, tiredness is like a massive thing because you're like, you've traveled, you've just done this massive comp, like you're a bit jet lagged, whatever. So I was really tired, and I would find myself being quite like, I don't want to be here for long. I was like, I want to be at home, and like, I think part of that is like, you're almost like, I literally just want to like sit on the sofa and just like curl up for a bit, just from that tiredness. But something that I always notice a lot is my like pain tolerance is just way less. So it's like, you'll be doing things and like everyone talks about like not being able to go 100%, and it's like, you like can't push as hard. Like, I won't be able to push as hard in training or whatever it is, but it's like, it's almost like because of my pain tolerance, I'm like, things just hurt me like way quicker. And it's like, you'll be doing something and you'll be like, I'm really out of breath and like I haven't really done that much yet, and you kind of like just give in to all this stuff like way quicker. And I think I probably, I mean, forget the first week afterwards, because like we're in America for a bit, we're traveling back, like did whatever I wanted, and then I think I basically had like a week, then did Southwest Regionals, and then the week after that, so for like 2-3 weeks I was probably just like, just a bit like zombied, I guess. And you're just kind of like, I'm a like, like I want to go home, I want to do this, but I don't feel so bad now. But it definitely took a while to like shake it out, I guess.
Yeah, and you know when you mentioned then about pain tolerance, obviously like you just assume that everyone that does CrossFit has got a high pain tolerance because they're literally killing themselves every day. Is that like something that you just have in general, do you think? And then like, does it make you almost, I don't know, someone that's got a high pain tolerance that does CrossFit, you can be like, oh, cool, they've got high pain tolerance. But if you've got a low one and you still do it to this level, does that make you harder than those people that don't?
Oh God, I don't know. I feel like if you had a low pain tolerance, I guess it depends which way it goes though. If you had a low pain tolerance, so then you give in to things really quickly. So like, let's say it's like, this is hurting me really quickly, so I'm just really going to slow down. I guess no. But if you were like, this hurts me straight away and I'm just going to mess myself up till the end. Like, so something that I think it's quite big on is like running events, or like running / endurance events, even like within CrossFit, that is. I think that's quite a big tell. And it's like, don't get me wrong, everyone there is going to mess themselves up and they like love it and they're like chasing this sport thing, right? But events like that, it is literally just like, well, how much are you just going to mess yourself up, and how much you just like, how long are you going to hurt for? You'll have people that will do insane because they're insane at the events, but like that first event we did, that like run, row, run, it's like, I think, don't get me wrong, I'm the slowest one on the team, so they all like outperform me. But I think I spent 58 minutes in the event, and I spent like over 55 of that at zone 5, just heart rate 191. And it's like, if you said that on paper to people, being like, this is what you need you to do, you just be like that, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And then you just do it, don't you? You just kind of get on with it. So yeah, I don't know. That messed me up all day though. Like, I did that and I was just messed up all day. Like, pain all through my ribs, like crippling stomach pains. It's mental. I'm just like, oh my God.
How much did you sort of not rehearse that? Had you done full run throughs of that in training as well?
No, not full run throughs. So we like assumed it was going to be something similar. So they obviously announced it for the individuals, but they didn't say what we were doing.
Okay.
So we didn't know that we were going to just do it as individuals. So we did a couple of practice weekends, but always as like a team version. So I think we did like, I really can't remember them completely, but it's like we did one where we all had to run, I can't remember what it is, 4 miles. But then it was, here comes my cat, so he might start screaming, sorry if you can hear him. So we did we all ran 4 miles, and then when everyone's back, I think we had to do like 3K on 2 rowers, just split. And it's like, we always did this situation where like, I am the slowest runner on the team. And we've obviously got like, OJ is very, very strong at running. So we did all these like run throughs where it's like, not that I necessarily got protected, but it's like, you just need to go mess yourself up on this run. And then like, we did this run and I did 4 miles, and off a 3K, I rode like 300 meters and OJ just did the rest. I was just like, and like we did another one where it's like, 2 of you have to run further and split a row, and then 2 of you have to row further and split a shorter run. And like, we did like variations like that. Like we all thought it was going to be a team variation. So, it was quite funny when we like went to the briefing and they like basically told us what we're doing, and I'm just sat there and I'm like that, oh my God, because I'm like, Ads and Harry are like, this is the best outcome for the team because we've got like very strong people at this event. And I'm just sat there like, but I literally haven't had to get on the rower after I ran. And I was like, you've all like practiced just getting on the rower, and I've literally ran and then just stood there. And I was just panicking. I was like, what am I going to do? But obviously it went well, so I can't complain. But yeah, it's funny how like everyone's brain was a little bit different. Like OJ was probably so happy he just got to do it himself, whereas I was just like internally panicking about how am I going to row. But
he finished. He finished first overall in that, didn't he? In the team.
Yeah, he finished first in the teams, and I think he would have been like, I don't know exactly what it was, but he was like top 10 if he did it in like an individual field as well. But yeah, he just slammed it. It's mad. Yeah.
How was that row then after that run for you? Was it as bad as you thought, or was it actually all right with adrenaline on the day?
No, the row was actually, I think the row was actually harder than everyone thought. So they were, I think they were rogue rowers instead of Concept 2. And like, I think they're very similar. I've never been on one before that, but they just kind of like felt like heavier and harder. So I don't know if it's just because you've run further or whatever it is, but I like finished the first run and I like look at my watch and I'm like, okay, you're at like 191, 193 heart rate, like not ideal. And I'm just sat there and I'm like, it's okay, you're a pretty good rower, like your heart rate's gonna come down. And I just start doing this row and I'm just looking at my watch and my heart rate's just not coming down. I'm like that, okay, like here we go. So it was a weird one. It's just, it like wasn't easy, and I think it like took people by surprise. I think I would actually think if you spoke to most people, they probably like felt better on the run than the row. I think as a team, I think we actually did quite well on the rower. Like when I ran past Ads afterwards, whether he was lying to me or not, I don't know, but he's like, you've like made up time on the rower, you've like gained on people. And I think he said the same to Harry as well. But yeah, it was not enjoyable. It was actually a lot worse than I was expecting. I was like, it's okay, you're a pretty strong rower, like you'll be fine. And now I'm just rowing and I'm next to Kerry and I'm like looking at him and I'm like, what are you rowing at? Because I feel like I'm rowing slow. And she was just slower than she thought as well. And it was just all, yeah, everyone was slow, put it that way.
That's I guess an Ads as coach, it'd be pretty shit if you were running past him and you're like, that row was shit, fucking sprint now. It wouldn't really be the best motivation, would it?
Fucked it. Yeah. I'm just like trudging up this little mini hill and he's like, come on then, Hells, get up to pace. And I'm just like that. I am just surviving right now. Like,
yeah, this is my pace. Deal with it, mate. So, you know, like immediately after the games then, so what, because obviously I had Harry on pretty soon after, and he gave his sort of like rundown on how he felt after the games. Can you give us like that immediate feeling after the games in terms of how you thought it had all gone as a team and for you personally? And then also now you've had the benefit of time to reflect on it, if how you feel about the experience has changed in the sort of 6 weeks that have been since.
It's been a weird one because I don't really know what Harry said, and like I guess let's go like immediate. Like I was like really happy, but there was almost like because we basically were in the top 10 all weekend, and then we went into this final workout, joint 10th, knew the time we had to beat the time. We're like, we've come 10th, but then the other team like put an appeal in because they're like something on their thrusters got like messed up. So it was almost like a like bittersweet thing. So it's like we're really happy, but then right at this last minute, even like after the event, we like drop out of the top 10. So it's almost a bit like no one was upset, but it was like, oh, like that's annoying. And then my actual immediate when we left the venue, so this was like very first thought, I was like really sad when we like first left. And I wasn't like sad with performance or sad with outcome, but I was just like that, oh my God, like that's just done. As in like I like got there the first day and I was like, you need to take all of this in, like it's only 3 days, like it's gonna go so quick. And then when we were leaving, I was just like that, like, oh, like we're not coming back in this building, like we're done now, we're like going home. And I was just like a little bit sad about it. And I was like, I can't believe that's over. But from an actual experience and performance, like even straight away, I was just really happy. And like, it was kind of, I think Harry probably had similar feelings. It's kind of like everything I wanted from the experience. Like, I don't think there's a workout that we really messed up. Like there are workouts that we had worse finishes in, but some of that is just like, literally like our pegboard capacity just kind of like it's more actually our pegboard speed, like it just wasn't there like compared to other teams. And it's like I don't feel like anyone really messed anything up, so it's like you don't have any, there were no like workouts where I was like, oh, but if we'd just done that, like if we hadn't got that like mess up, we'd be here. I just felt like we executed what we had, like the whole experience was really positive, as in like I completely trusted the team. There was no like, yeah, I was just really happy with them all. And it was just like a really nice experience. And I know that sounds a bit like cheesy, but even like how many supporters we had over there and stuff like that, it was just like, I'm just really happy with what's just happened that weekend. So, and it's something that I think, I guess like you'll know this more than a lot of people, but for me and Harry particularly, it's been like a long time coming to like have that feeling. So yeah, I think I was just really happy. And like when we got back, we like made a joke and Harry's like, are we just gonna like lose our edge? Like we're just gonna be like soft now. Like we're just so happy with this thing. And I think, yeah, my feelings are still very similar, but it's just like I don't have any complaints, I don't have any like regrets, I don't have any I wish I'd done this. I just like even the whole like we dropped to 11th, whatever, it's like, yeah, I'd have loved to stay in the top 10, but I literally just like I'm happy with what we did. And even just some little things like I'm like really happy that my parents got to come and watch it and stuff like that, because they have literally they've been at like every event that we've tried to qualify from. Like basically they're so funny, they love a holiday, but every year they've basically like pre-booked their cat into the category for the games, because they're like, we're going to the games this year and stuff like that. And then they'll come to like our qualifying event, and I guess just for the last 3 years, they've basically had to watch us finish our weekend in tears, and it just be like sad. No matter what it was, like just missed out, got injured, whatever. It's always been like this sad finish to it. So I think I'm just really happy with that. It's like they got to actually just come and watch the thing that we've like been building towards, and like they obviously helped me loads of stuff. And I just think the whole setup, like the fact that Harry and Amy are there as well, like so many people came to watch, I just think it's going to be pretty hard to beat that feeling.
Yeah, and at least your mum and dad are in good graces with the category, because if they keep cancelling, they'd probably stop taking the bookings eventually, wouldn't they?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so they're good now. Yeah, I think maybe they'll retire from supporting CrossFit now. Maybe they're like that. Like you've gone, I'm not going to any more comps now, just in case. So yeah, who knows?
That was on my list to ask about as well, like the situation with like you guys all being there together, like in the house and stuff. That must have just been like incredible, because you train with those people all the time. They're all there. Everyone that you care about that's invested has made it.
Yeah,
that just must just be like insane.
It's mad, because like I don't think anyone expected that going into the season, as in just because it was really unknown for everyone, with a lot of things being online and who knows who's going to do what and stuff like that. And it was never really like spoken about, I guess. Like we never, it's not like we all sat down together like that. Wouldn't it be really cool if we all qualified? Because like no one wants to like put it out there. But I think, yeah, it was just one, it's like very impressive for the gym, but it's, you don't want to like go through that and see anyone like miss out, I guess. So for us, I guess last year, we obviously still performed very well at the semi-finals, but like we didn't do the thing, we didn't qualify. And even though there were like no bitter feelings about it, when it like comes around to the games and it's like, I'm really happy for Harry and Amy, but like I wish I was there. I like wouldn't really want anyone to have to go through that. So it was just like, I mean, I barely saw them. I barely saw them both. We'd like see each other like crossing over in the warm-up area and stuff like that, but that's about it. So I don't even know if they had fun. I don't even know if they enjoyed their experience. Like we haven't even spoke about it, but
I think like, I don't know, for me, like, you know, like watching and all the Brits that went over to watch, it was just amazing to like just see so many of you out there. And it was like you touched on then, like me, you and Harry, like I've known your journey quite a bit over the last few years, and it would just, that was like most of the reason why I came to watch. I didn't get to see you there, like other than on the floor, but like I was like,
I literally can't believe I didn't see you. I was like, I can't believe Steve's all the way over here and I just haven't seen him on. It's like, what the hell?
You're a bit busy. I'll let you off.
Yeah, fair. I was also a bit brain dead as well. Like, I was just, just a bit out of it, I think. So
in terms of like the sort of season, like, how does it look moving forward for you now? Because I tried to get a hot scoop from Harry last time to see if the team was going to return. Have there been any more discussions or plans about that?
No, I don't. Honestly, there's not an actual answer, I don't think. Like, we haven't spoken about it as like a collective. I think, I don't know what he said before. He might say like very similar things to me. Like, leading into the games, like a few weeks before, I think probably everyone would have said no, because they're in this point where they're like fed up of traveling to come and train, or like training is literally just everything and like everyone's really tired. Then we like go there or like straight after, and everyone's like pretty excited, and I think they would have been like, yeah, I'm in, kind of thing. I think I've just seen it one more year. Comment.
Yeah, I'm saying one more year.
And then I had this really funny moment, like leading in the few weeks leading into the games. We kind of like all been chatting about it's the last year, it's not going to happen again, blah, 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 blah. And then I was just driving to work once for my 6 a.m. class. And I don't know what like brought it on, but I was just driving on my own and I was just like that. Maybe one more year, like, let's go. And honestly, since then, I don't know, like everyone just needed to not think about it for a bit. And we haven't actually really chatted. Like, me and Harry have chatted a bit. I've chatted to Ads. Me and Ads had a massive chat about it on the drive to the airport. And my like original perception of it, which I don't think's changed, is I was like, if I don't, am I like saying goodbye to the games, if that makes sense? Like, is that it? Like, and it's very easy for people to be like, why don't you just try and go indie? But that's like a whole different ball game, right? And they're like an insane level. Like, some people don't like quite understand the difference there. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I would give individual a good crack and I'd try and get as far as I can and whatever. But I was like, if I don't do team, am I like, is that it? Am I done with the games? And I'm just going to like compete other places as much as I can. So I am leaning towards yes, but I don't know if that's a group thing yet. So I don't know.
So you know when you talk about that, then, so like when you're saying like to go indie and to do what those guys do, they're probably tailoring their training in such a way over such a prolonged period of time that it's not easy to just flip. What do you think the main differences are? Because I get the difference in training for team and training for indie in so much as the stuff you do together, but a lot of the time you are just kind of doing an individual program that culminates in you coming together as a team. So would you think the main differences are in terms of indie and team training?
I think when you're, that's quite a hard question. I think your actual individual program isn't hugely different, as in like the things you'll be doing and the things you're trying to get better at, because it's like there'll still be a certain level of like capacity that you need to be able to do and stuff like that. So I think the actual elements of your individual training aren't particularly different, but the main difference really is just like people's capacity, or like particularly like fitness levels, right? And like how quickly they can do things. Because I guess like training in the gym with Amy and Harry, who are both like very up there in the individual field, it's like there are maybe some things that I can like go with them on, or like be close to them, or maybe beat them or whatever and stuff like that. But it's like I couldn't just consistently do that at every work. Like, so for example, like we'll train together on a Saturday, and it'll be like there'll be a workout that I'll be like, I've like basically come in at the same time as you, or very close, or maybe just beaten you. But then we'll have done 3 other workouts that day, and it's like that. Yeah, you beat me by like 4 or 5 minutes, kind of thing. And it's like it's not necessarily that I'm bad at those things. It's just like a kind of different thing. So I think your actual like stuff is very similar. It's just kind of like what you can tolerate and how quickly you can do it, but it's different, really. And that's why I'd look at myself and I'd be like, I don't think I'm a bad individual competitor, and I don't think that I couldn't give like individual semi-finals and things a shot, or like whatever European comps, but the actual just being like, I'm going to put it all together and qualify for the games, like it doesn't really like happen by accident for people. It's like a very specific thing, right?
Yeah. And is it like a volume thing, do you think then? Do you think they just do more volume because they know it's just going to be them? So like 5 workouts a day is pretty standard as opposed to maybe 2 or 3. Is it something like that, do you think, or not?
I don't even know. I don't know if it's necessarily like more volume. It's just like something that I think is massive is like how quickly like they can like pick up and get better at skills. Or like, yeah, just like, I guess just how quickly they can progress at stuff. So yeah, it's quite a weird thing to explain, because I don't know any of like individual athletes like specific training, and I'm sure they probably like do more volume than other people, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's literally just their ability to like execute stuff, like how fit they are to execute things, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, like when you were mentioning then about individual and stuff, and obviously some of your core strengths, like, like if the swim comes up at the games, you're doing well. And like things like that. I guess, did you miss some of that this year with obviously no swimming? Without a pain in the arse for you? Because I know you'd have been buzzing to get in a...
Yeah, I mean, it would be very, I think it'd be very dependent on the event. Of like, if you can like utilize your better swimmers and stuff like that. Like, I think there are a few things that I think there's a lot of things that like I would class as bigger strengths to me, but like we just didn't see. Like, don't get me wrong, like we obviously did a max back squat, but I like think I'm quite good at like strength endurance, power endurance, like lots of heavy barbell, XYZ, but like there's very few situations in team, I guess, where you get to just go and do that on your own. It's either like synchro or pairs or whatever it is. I don't think I wouldn't have looked at any of those like games workouts and be like, these are like bad for me. But there was probably none of them that I was like, yeah, I am gonna absolutely carry the team on this either. Like they're quite a like weird set again. Let's guess that you all have to just like do the thing. I probably would have liked to swim. Yeah, I'm actually not a massive. I don't really like open water swimming, but it's because I think it's just because I always used to swim in a pool. I also really don't like fish, so that's quite a big thing. But I would have quite liked it to be like a pool swim. Like, that year they did like the swim ski and stuff like that, when it was like your individual score and stuff like that. I think that would have been quite fun. I think the actual events were really good, and the fact I think it's all really well done, because it's like it's all in here and it's just like run perfectly. I do think some of the like outdoor elements like add quite a lot to it. So even like when they have to do a load of events outside and it's on a massive outdoor field, and I don't know, like pushing the bob and stuff like that, there's a few things like that, but I'm like, I kind of wish we did that, because I do like associate that to the games quite a lot. So, but yeah, I'm not unhappy with what we got, but I think there's like a few things that it's like, oh, we could have actually been really good at that and we just didn't get tested on it.
Yeah, I was going to ask that about the obviously with it being in Albany, they were obviously seemed to be pretty limited in terms of what they could do outdoors. And I'm going to ask you that comparison between Albany and Madison for that reason, because all this was like what they deemed classic CrossFit, not much unknown. Obviously, you've probably enjoyed this experience slightly more, given of the stuff you talked about a minute ago. But if you took it just for the events and just for the workouts and just for that experience, did you prefer Madison in what were it 20?
I think Madison from a like venue was a lot better, because it was like, did you ever go to Madison?
Yeah,
and it's like from an actual like venue, I thought it's almost a bit more of like a spectacle. Like for us, it's obviously first time going, but like you walk in and it's like this village, right? They've just taken over this thing, and it's like you're walking around. There's like the massive road tent, and then there's this, and you walk into the like outdoor arena, and then you're going to the Coliseum. And I think it was all a bit more like of a spectacle. So I think the actual setup was better. And then I do actually think that they're like things that I prefer from both of them, but from the actual events, I don't know if the events were like less brutal this year or if I'm just like better and we're a better team. Because like when we went before, we obviously like don't know what we're walking into, right? And like we did the best we could in every event, but you're almost a little bit like blindsided and you're going in like, am I going to survive this event? What am I going to do? Whereas I felt like this year it's like we know what we're doing, like we're going in to compete. So but I don't know if that's like we're just way better as a team and as individual athletes, or if the events were more standard. I don't know. Like when we went in 21, there was like this back to back. We always talk about this back to back event on the outdoor arena, and like I've literally never wished for a time cap, and I was just like that. I need the time. I'm like dying. I need to get off this field, and it was just like 40-degree heat. We're out there for like 40 minutes. We're just getting like smashed by this workout. Basically, no team's finishing it. So it's like, was that? I don't know if that was more brutal. If it's just like because of your outside and everything, but then there's probably factors of this year that I preferred. Like I liked that there weren't cuts, and it was like everyone is just going to go through the whole way, because it's like, you know, you've got to argue that you need to be within the cut line to do all events, but it's also like, you know, you're testing the whole fitness, right? So should like 5 teams get cut before they do these 3 events, when it might be their best 3 events of a weekend? Like who knows? So I think that was good, because you just knew you were going to like experience the whole weekend. But yeah, I think Madison as an actual like place was probably, I think I probably preferred that.
Yeah, walking about, there were a lot less undesirables in Madison, I'd say, in Albany. They were a bit ropey in certain places, weren't it?
Yeah, it was just a bit weird, wasn't it? Like you just walked out and you're like, I'm just like on the street, like what's going on here? Yeah. But I mean, I didn't actually spend much time out there, I guess. Like we just walked straight there, get in the car and go home. But it was a little bit like, even when we were like driving in, it was like, oh, like, yeah, we're just in the car park, like we're here. Whereas when we went to Madison, you're driving in and it's like this massive thing that you're looking at. So I think that was a little bit different. But I think that partly comes to, with Madison, there's obviously teenagers, masters, this. So there's just so many more people that had to be way bigger. Sorry.
Yeah. I liked Madison, but I did like the fact that, and this is just my preference as a spectator, just being inside the entire time made it so much more enjoyable for me, you know, because when you sat outside in the heat, granted, when you're working out, it's not ideal, but you're sat out there for hours in it, it's a bit like, I don't know.
It's also just like, you didn't have to like worry about where people are going to be and like what stage you need to get to and find them. And I think a bonus of the like field being smaller was just like, things just flowed quite well, and it wasn't like people are sat and they're having to watch like 15 heats before the people they want to see are on or anything like that. I think it like flowed a lot better, and it was just like, you know what you're getting and you know what's coming up and stuff like that. But I think from that perspective that was better. And I do kind of agree. I guess it's like when everything is in one place, you can like bring the atmosphere and stuff like that, right? Whereas if it's all spread out, it's like, are they going to stay around to watch this, or are they just going to like try and get seats ready for the individuals? And here comes my cat. There he is.
So, you know, when you're on the floor, what was it like? What was the atmosphere like? Because in the stands, it sounded loud, but obviously I'm like surrounded by the people making the noise. Can you, when you're on the floor, can you hear it? Can you feed off it?
I'm going to say no. It's really weird. Like, I don't think you really notice, but like, yeah, I mean, I will actually be honest. I didn't notice at all this year. I could hear ads, but he would be on like the sideline. So he was like quite close to us, I guess, especially being like in an outside lane. So you can like really hear him. Yeah, I don't think there were points where I was like that, like, oh, I can hear the crowd like cheering for me. Like even when the back squat was happening, like people are shouting because there's weights going up. But yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. Like it was quite nice. Something that was quite nice was we had like a rough idea where people were sat, like people we knew. So that was quite nice. It's like as you got called out, or like just before you start, you kind of like look up and they're just like waving at you and like going mental and stuff like that. So that was quite cool. But like within the workout, I don't think you hear anything. I couldn't really tell you anything that happens. Like the only thing I can hear is ads. I could actually just hear the Invictus coach the whole time because they were next to us and he was so loud. All I could hear was him shouting. And then you can sometimes hear like the commentators and you'll kind of like know who's where and stuff like that. But apart from that, yeah, you're just kind of a bit blind.
So it's just that you can't hear it. It's not like me. I spend probably 20 minutes picking a playlist for the workout, and then after about 30 seconds at workout, I can't see or hear anything because I'm just dying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny actually because I think I like love training to just like techno music and just like a beat, I guess. And I guess a lot of people like you'd walk in the gym and they'd be like, how do you listen to this? I don't like this, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, I just don't think I even really hear it. As in, it's just on, and that's why I don't really I'm not like really interested in there like being loads of words or anything like that because you're not like taking it in. It just needs to be there.
You're not singing along, are you?
Yeah.
So what I did earlier, we've touched on a bit of training. So earlier before you came on, I messaged Harry and I said, I've got Helen on later and I want you to write me 2 workouts, and I wanted one to be the perfect workout for you and one to be a terrible workout for you. And the only thing I gave him, I said I want them to both be triplets, so you'd have a few things to actually pick. So
both triplets, okay.
Yeah, so starting with your first one. Now his rep scheme on this was 21, 15, 9, and it was 3 rounds for time. And this is your wheelhouse apparently. So what do you think you had 21 of?
Oh my God.
There's a machine in here as well. I'll tell you what, there's a machine, there's a gymnastics, and there's a barbell. So
row. Echo.
Yeah, 21 echo.
Echo, yeah, mean. I'm actually really worried that I'm going to say these. You're going to make me do them. Echo bike. My gymnastics would be chest to bar.
Correct.
Yeah. My barbell, it depends how heavy we're talking. I'm going to assume.
Shall I give you the weight and then you can determine the move?
I think it's going to be heavy deadlifts.
It's 60 kgs on the bar, if that gives you a different perspective.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Is it thrusters?
No, that'd be miserable. 60
yeah, that's what I just thought. I was like, he really hates me. Well, it's gotta be like clean and jerks or cleans then.
Yeah, so he's gone 21 cal echo, 15 chest to bar, 9 clean and jerks at 63 rounds for time. So
okay, yeah, no, that's fair. I actually thought he might have got like heavier deadlift, but I would say probably my 2 best movements are probably deadlifts and then like clean and jerk. So. But yeah, when you said 60 kilo, I was like, maybe he's just going to mess me up with 60 kilo thrusters. Let's go.
Right. So now the one that you wouldn't enjoy so much, and oh God, and the fact that you don't enjoy it so much, and it's an AMRAP, I think that makes it worse because you've got to suffer the entire way through. So it's a 15-minute AMRAP, and it's a triplet again, and the rep range is 4, 8, 12. So what do you think you're doing 4 of?
Rope climbs.
Nailed it.
8 overhead squats, 12 option poses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. You find it more difficult to pick the workout you like, but the one you dislike.
Yeah, I know. God, it's because that's all I do. Those are the only movements I do in training. I was like, maybe it's going to be legless rope climbs, but when you said 4, I was like that. I'll just be stood there. So
he's got your overhead squats at 60 as well, and your burpee box jumps were to a high box. So
doesn't even need to be high. It could be to a plate. I still hate them. But
good. That was good fun. That.
as soon as you said the bad one, I was like that. Yeah, these are the 3 movements. So yeah.
That was good fun. And so like now you're sort of back in the swing of things. How does that look for you? What are you up to now in terms of coaching and things like that?
I'm just training a lot, to be fair. I'm actually competing at the start of October. So I've got an individual comp start of October in Tenerife. I'm doing Iberian Throwdown. So I guess kind of like training for that a little bit. Like, yeah, I'm actually kind of enjoying it at the moment. Like, we're doing quite a lot, as in, I think you would think that like volume would be down and stuff, but we're doing a lot. It's just in a different split. So I probably used to do 5 days in the gym, and they'd always be doubles, and then like 2 like recovery days. But at the moment, just while I've got a bit more flexibility, I'm actually only doing 4 days in the gym, but they're all doubles or triples, and they're pretty intense. Like, you kind of finish a day and you're like, I can't believe how much I've just done. But then I'm having 3 days then that like almost like endurance days. So like sometimes lower intensity, sometimes like lactate threshold stuff, but they're like, we've got a few bits of kit, like a row and a bike at home, so it'll be like you don't actually have to go in, but you've still got this like longer piece to do. So training wise, that's kind of where I'm at. Feel pretty good again, as in, don't get me wrong, I don't feel as good as I did going into the games, but it's like I feel better, as in I'm like doing all this stuff, and like I'm just back in routine and things like that. And then just kind of like, I guess, while it's a bit of a weird one, like it's not even just while we've got more time, like team training and training for the games like takes time, but it also just zaps you of so much energy. So it's like just trying to do a few more like normal things. And I wouldn't necessarily even say that's like massive social things, but it's just like focusing on work stuff more, and like planning stuff and this and like sorting things out for the year, and just stuff like that. Even stuff like house stuff. You know, it's like you just have no capacity to be like, yes, I'm going to buy wardrobes. Just things like that. Just because I've got a little bit more like brain space. I'm like just trying to do stuff like that at the moment before it all just like ramps back up again.
I was going to say, so, you know, like you said earlier, you'd be open to the idea of going again. You know, like at what part of the year do you kind of, I know obviously the Open's the kickoff of the season, but I'm guessing prior to that, you want to start tailoring things towards the end goal. Do you have to make that decision sooner than that?
Yeah, it's actually a really sad answer, because it's now. It's not now, but it's like, particularly if you spoke about a team setting, it's like what you're going to get a lot of benefit from as a team is like training together a lot, so you like know each other inside and out and XYZ. But when the later you start, the more intense that has to be, right? Because it's like, let's say for example, you're like, we're not starting to train together till February. It's like, well, you're pretty much in the season, so you're going to have to like, you're basically have to train every weekend together. Whereas if it is something where it's like, now it's September, you could almost get away with like it not having to just be back to back to back to back, because it's like we've got more time. I wouldn't necessarily like say it's like, everything starts now, but things I am doing now are still basically to set me up in the best way for next year, like whether that's individual, whether that's team. It's like, these are the things that you need to get better at, so we're not going to wait, kind of thing.
And
I guess lots of break times and lots of burpee box jump overs, just to confirm.
So, I'm going to say, at least we know what you're doing.
Running. I'm still running 3 times a week, I think.
You know, like when we talked about earlier about you saying that you've got like quite a low pain tolerance, which I dispute completely, given what you do to yourself on a daily basis.
No, I actually don't think I do have a low pain tolerance. I think mine's quite high. I don't think it's like a low pain tolerance. I think it's just like I can't hide it. As in, like, I'll be in pain and I'm going to let you know I'm in pain. Whereas some people can just hide it. Like,
But you know, like, because the art of getting better at CrossFit is literally doing those things you hate. Are you good at, like, you know, when they're programmed, you just go in and get on with them because you know it's part of the process? Or is it like when you see that sort of workout programmed, are you like a bit slower in the morning getting out of bed thinking, fuck's sake, I've got to go and do that? Or is it just, I don't know.
It's not necessarily like going and doing it, but it's like, I'll be sad about it. Like, as in, it'll be, I would say things that it's like the warm up for things. So like we'll do a piece and it's like, you've got this next, and I'll be like that. Oh, like I just need to get this and I just need to get that. And I'm going to do it, but I'm almost like that. Like, I don't want to do the first one of this in case it feels really hard and stuff like that. So we have pretty brutal Tuesdays at the moment, which have a lot of things in that are just hard, but also things that I wouldn't like class myself as amazing at. So I do often find like I'll get through those sessions and it's like I've been doing these hard movements and it's like, and now you've given me this, it's like I need to really concentrate on. And yeah, you do kind of come out of them a little bit like that. Oh, like I'll always do it, don't get me wrong, and it's like I'm not gonna try and find my way out of it, but I'll definitely moan. I'll definitely be like that. I don't want to do this. Yeah.
But when you like say them two workouts we just talked about, the one that's great for you and the one that you wouldn't enjoy so much, do you get more satisfaction after the one that you're not so good at, even if you've crushed the one that you're good at, obviously because it's stuff you enjoy? From a satisfaction point of view, do you feel more fulfilled after a workout that you hate?
No. I don't think it's as simple as no, but I think it's I guess it's quite frustrating. I think it's easier to be frustrated with. Like, so if we just picked like two workouts that I was like, one, yeah, really good at, and one that I'm like, oh my God, massive weakness, I'll be equally as nervous for them. And it's like different. Like the one that I'm really good at, it's like I'll get really nervous because it's like, yeah, people are expecting you to perform here, and it's like almost that margin for what you think is good is way smaller. Okay. So there's like you put the pressure on. Then you've got the one that's like, this is not great for me. So then you're nervous about being like I need to execute this. Like, how am I going to do? Like, are they way quicker than this? I think satisfaction. It's a weird one because it's obviously if it's something you're good at, it's very satisfying being like, I just executed that really well. Like I was quick at that. Like this was really good. I think if it went really well, the thing that I'm like not great at, like if it went really well, yes. But I think I'm a lot more, I actually would say I'm probably quite harsh on myself being like, I guess it's the gym we're in as well. And you're like around these people that are like just good at things. And it's quite hard to be like, oh yeah, I just made loads of progress in that, when you're like, I made loads of progress in that, but it needs to be this, if that makes sense. Yeah. So a great example would be like my legless rope climbs are something I've always worked on, and like I'm not saying I'm bad at them, but my capacity compared to some people, or like how quickly I can go back up, like just isn't the same. And it's like I can improve on them and I can like beat my like times and XYZ, or I can do this. But then I'll very quickly be like, yeah, but I need to be able to do this. And it's quite a weird feeling because it's like, it's quite hard to like recognize the progress sometimes.
I guess that's the sport as well though, isn't it? Because the better you get at something, the more you realize there's capacity to be even better at it. So even with your strengths, that's kind of something, isn't it?
And it is something that sometimes I'd have to like take a step back, or like Harry will have to be like, yeah, but like, last time you did this, or like last time you wouldn't have been able to do this, and you're like, yeah, like you are right. Like I had one today, I guess, like it was more like a strength piece, right? And it had like, it was just quite brutal. It's just like really like upper body pressing, like legless rope climbs, and it would have had like 10 to 12 legless rope climbs in it. And just because of the format, they were just really hard. But then I like had to kind of be like, oh yeah, but like old me wouldn't have been able to do that. Like, so you do kind of have to remind yourself, whereas I'll often like finish frustrated being like that. Wow, they were really hard. Like I thought it was getting better at them, and they were just like really hard. But it's just like who you are, isn't it? Like you always just want to be better at stuff.
Yeah, I read something once about this because it's different for me. I don't do it in that way, but like, like, I don't know, when you get good at a skill, it becomes its new baseline. So then being good at it doesn't seem as rewarding as it once did. And I was talking about it with my business partner once, how we never feel like we're getting anywhere with Defiant or the print services. But then if you look at where we were compared to a year ago and the year before, but it's because you start to baseline it and then you want more and you want more.
The goalpost just changes, right?
Yeah.
It's something that I actually have. It's like conversations I'll actually have with people that I coach, like as clients, and like a massive one will be like ring muscle ups, right? And it'll be people getting their first ring muscle up, or like they've got a couple of singles in their life or whatever, and it's like I got ring muscle ups, and then a couple of weeks later it's like I didn't get any, or like I failed, and like they're like really upset, and I'm like, yeah, but you have to like understand, like you've only ever done like 3 of those in your life, and you've done one at a time, so it's almost like 100% or nothing, right? And it's like it's a different thing. But if I went in and said you have to just clean 100% of your max clean, and you're not doing anything before that, or like you can do something empty barbell, whatever, it's like, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. So I do think it's one of those where it does like very quickly change. A massive one for me will be when I always wanted to clean 120. Like I obviously like realized I was pretty good, and I was like, I want to clean 120. Like that's it. I want to clean, and I was pumped when I first hit it, and then straight away you're just like that. Wonder if I can clean this. When am I going to clean this? And then it's just like it's not like you hit it and you're like that. I'm content with I've hit that for life now. It's like,
yeah, I'm just going to retire.
I want to hit this. Yeah, so it just like instantly changes, right? So it's kind of mad.
Let me ask you one thing on that then, because it's quite a hotly debated topic at the moment between High Rocks and CrossFit. You know, like, because CrossFit always enables you to do more, want more, achieve more. Do you think like High Rocks eventually has a ceiling? And the reason I ask that is because I feel like, you know, if you're doing a High Rocks and your goal is to get a sub hour or something, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And then you do it, there isn't the same motivation to get a sub 59.50, is there? Or if sub, do you think like people,
I don't know though,
infinitely...
I really don't know, because if you took that to like runners, and it's like they are a half marathon runner and I don't know the best, like let's say they're like a broken hour 30, they probably are instantly like, yeah, I want to break 125. I don't really know with High Rocks. Like, I think from an actual, like if you went like mass population, I don't think that'll have a ceiling, because it's like an achievement for people and it's like what they want to do. Yeah. But I think if you went like top end performers, I don't know if maybe like how long top end performers stay in that sport. I think that would be shorter than like CrossFit, because let's just say I was a top end performer in High Rocks, and it's like I've done everything I can and I've like optimized this, I've optimized that, I'm getting fitter, I'm better, like my running times are coming down. Like there's almost, I don't know if it is a ceiling, but it's like, how much quicker can I get? As in, I'm already running at this pace, and sometimes it's course dependent or X, Y, Z. I don't know if maybe like their time in the sport would be shorter, because it's like, oh, like this person is now in and they're just running this pace and I actually just can't run that pace, or whatever it is. I think something that would be interesting would be like even as simple as just like changing the order. Like I do really think that would change it for people, because it's like they know they're doing things in this order, and it's like, this is my weaker station and this and that, and like this is how fast I can run after this. And like I do wonder for them if it's like we're just like changing that order today, if it would like really mess some people up, or they'd just be like their whole game plan had changed or anything. So that'd be kind of interesting for me.
Yeah, I think they'd be up in arms. I can just imagine it.
I cannot sled push last. Like I'm not doing it. Yeah. It's mad. Just imagine making everyone start with 100 wall balls and they're just like that. Yeah.
I think you're right with that as well, what you're saying, because I remember Hunter McIntyre was like way above what anyone could touch, and now he can't, like, you know, he's not even getting in the top couple, is he, at the world champs? So
and that's what
he had a pretty short
life. Is there much more he can do? I don't know. Like I don't know enough about him or like his training. Like I don't know anything to actually comment. But like, is there any, like, can he run the Ks faster? Can he do this? Or like, does he have to get faster on the machines? Like, or is it just that person is just quicker than them and that's it now? But
I guess you've never done one with you if you're saying you don't like your running.
Oh no, so everyone thinks this. I'm a High Rocks World Championship qualifier, actually.
There you go. So
which I like to throw out there, because people will be like, oh, you wouldn't like that. But no, so I actually did High Rocks the first year it came out. And I did it for Food Spring. They were like, we've got places, and I can't remember, like the London XL one. So I did it there, and I don't know, I think I came like second in my category and qualified for world champs, and I was just like that. Yeah, cool. Okay. But it was like, let's say weekenders. It was a year it was in Vegas, so one, it's like miles away, and two, it was like maybe the same weekend as like semi-finals or something. And it's hilarious because I am going to keep that title, but if I did one now, I highly doubt I would qualify for world championships, just because like when I did it then, like people were really quick at running, but they like couldn't do the stations, or they would do the stations and they'd be so tired that their run would massively drop off. Whereas like, because I came from a CrossFit background, it's almost like, my actual run pace on the first K and stuff wouldn't be as fast as them, but like I just wasn't as messed up from these stations, or like I was really used to running with my heart rate high. So then like over the race, I just like did better. Whereas people are like, so they know what they're getting into now, right? They're like, I know what the stations are. I know what I can run afterwards. Like, I don't, as like in the field, I just definitely wouldn't do as well.
You'll have to do one. You and Harry should do one. Do a mixed pairs. That'd be funny watching.
Yeah. So when we were leading into
fight.
Oh God, we just wouldn't be a good high rocks pair. Like, we actually did one. So Blueprint did like a high rock simulation, like a pairs one, and it was so funny because Ads is like, yeah, like so OJ and Kerry very good at high rocks, and Ads was like, we're going to do a simulation and we're going to put the pairs head to head. So Harry and Helen are going against OJ and Kerry against Will and Amy, and me and Harry were just like that, like there is no point in us trying, as in like these two pairs are going to battle it out for who is better at high rocks, and we're coming third no matter what, like whether we end ourselves or whether we don't. And don't get me wrong, like we obviously did try, but I don't know, I think me and Harry were probably like 8 to 10 minutes slower than OJ and Kerry. They were just fucking hell. I mean, Kerry had a really, really sad time. Like OJ just dragged her through hell. But whereas like me and Harry were like back and forth of like, oh, I don't want to do this. And then I was really messed up on one run, and then he was really messed up on the next. And so we probably had a nicer time.
Yeah, sounds like it, to be fair.
Kerry, she was like miserable all day.
Just going to bring this comment up. I don't really understand this comment. What about Carson? The only games I've ever been to was in Carson in 2014, Froning's last year. And
I've never been to Carson, actually.
No.
I think there's a lot of rumours about next year, isn't there?
I've booked my hotel.
What?
I've gambled. No, well, when Dave went to that San Francisco, that women's basketball game, no one goes to watch women's basketball in America unless they've got an agenda. So I assumed it was and obviously the Savon Sphere and all them were speculating. So I thought, well, I'll go on booking.com, book an hotel before it's, the prices go up, and then just cancel it if I need to. So I've gambled, I pulled trigger.
Maybe I'll do that too. Yeah, let's go.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
I've got one right by the place.
To be fair, you do say that, but we the gym we went to a few days after the games, we were chatting to the guy there, and he was like, yeah, I can't remember if it's a year before or whenever it was, and he was like, yeah, like Castro just like dropped in and was like, I'm just in the area, and this is like before it being announced that it was in Albany. And he was like, yeah, I'm just in the area for like something. And then he's like that, you're definitely not just in the area for something. And then obviously it gets announced. So maybe you're on something now, yeah. But
I guess there are many more reasons to visit San Francisco than just that. So maybe that.
I mean, maybe he's on holiday, but...
if Dave Castro's in Albany, he's not going to Albany if he doesn't have to, is he?
So if he put something up and he was just on holiday on a beach, you just book in a hotel there just in case. Yeah,
I'll go anyway. I'll just watch the games from San Fran. It'll be all right.
But I don't know. I would be interested. There's a lot of rumours about it, and that is actually like before my time, if that makes sense. Like, as in I didn't like even really know about CrossFit or watch any of it then, so I don't know any of like Carson era or what it was like.
No, I've only watched him on the documentaries and stuff. Like when I got in, I was full Matt Fraser hour when I got in. It weren't until I really got into it that I ditched Fraser for Froning as my hero.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Right, mate. I think we've done all my lists, so I'm good at that. If that's all good with you.
Yeah, sweet. All good.
Cool. If you just stay on a sec after, I'll end the live and we can. Thanks everyone for watching. If you're still on, make sure you subscribe. I always forget to say that.
Log into your YouTube.
Yeah, log in and subscribe now. Helen has spoken. All right. Cheers, everyone.